Welcome everybody to Mull It Over. Because it's the final episode of the season, I thought to keep it short and sweet and just break down one early game situation from the APAC region and one from the Americas regions, both in the finals. So, let's jump right into it. It is turn 5 for Surrender's Demon Hunter versus Glory's Warrior, which has already staved off all of Surrender's early threats. At this point, Surrender knows Glory is very likely to have Risky Skipper in hand, given that Glory had already swung twice with his Ankar. And so, the game plan for Demon Hunter begins to shift from board control to a face race. With just a 2-2 Sager versus Glory's board of Horde Pillager and a Boombot, on the surface this looks like a pretty clean turn for Surrender to go for Second Slice plus Glavebound Adept to put the most threatening minion on board and start pushing damage to Glory's face. However, Surrender cleverly recognizes that if he kills the Boombot with his hero power, he actually still has a 5 out of 8 chance to stick his Satyr Overseer on board, and he does indeed get that good outcome. Combined with the Frozen Shadow Weaver, he presents 6 attack on board, as much as a Glavebound would have, and gets the added benefit of freezing Glory's Ankar swing. But the most relevant reasoning for going for the Frozen Shadow Weaver and I-Beam as opposed to the Glavebound is that it ensures Surrender still has a powerful follow-up play with Hero Power plus Glavebound on the 6-mana turn. And it guarantees an Outcast Skull of Gul'dan from the left-hand side on turn 7. Had Surrender gone for Glavebound first, he risks drawing an expensive card such as Warglaves of Azeroth on the following turn, which he could not play alongside Frozen Shadow Weaver all at once. In that scenario, Surrender might have had to delay his Skull of Gul'dan another turn. Indeed, with a frozen weapon, Glory's best defense is to expend Risky Skipper and Blood Boil Brute, and Surrender is heavily rewarded for how he allocated his resources. He's able to clear the board and safely outcast his skull on turn 7. Over in the Americas finals, we have Bloodyface versus Eddie in a true mirror, both players bringing identical lists with questing adventurers and no eviscerates. It's turn 2, and Eddie has dropped his Shadow Jeweler Hanar on an empty board. Bloodyface has no Backstab or Seal Fate to try and remove the Hanar from hand, so he has to get on board. At first glance, this looks like a pretty tempting spot to go for a coin into Evil Miscreant play, but instead we see Bloodyface go for his own Shadow Jeweler Hanar. Because both minions are now 1/4s after the nerf to Hanar, Seal Fate and a trade from the other side would be devastating in either case, which Eddie did indeed have. In this case, had Bloodyface gone for his Miscreant, the only way to immediately kill off the 1/3 on the following turn would be if the Miscreant generated at least one Kobold Lackey, the odds of which is only 13 out of 49 or 26.5%. Plus the chance of Ethereal Lackey generating specific removal spells, I guess, but I do not want to do the math on that one. The point is, it was unlikely, so Bloodyface instead prioritizes holding on to the coin, which gives him more flexibility for his follow-up play of either questing Adventurer or Miscreant, plus an immediate Lackey for tempo. With the pickup of Praise Galakron on turn 3, Bloodyface decides to play his questing Adventurer and get it up to 4 health to best challenge Eddie's Hanar. The 4 health is a crucial breakpoint to resist dying to a simple Backstab plus Dagger. Also note that both players don't have Eviscerate in their lists. While Eddie did end up drawing his second Seal Fate, Bloodyface's questing Adventurer bit the dust, but it at least finally took down the Shadow Jeweler Hanar along with it. And there you have it, short and sweet like I promised. Thank you all for tuning in to Mull It Over and to Hearthstone Grandmasters 2020 Season 1. And to anybody who's been asking why I have stars in my eyes, it's because my ring light is star-shaped. Mystery is solved now. So, see you all in Season 2, and until then, stay safe and take care.